We gon' make some moves tonight, yeah, stand up. Got something to prove tonight, so stand up. We ain't gonna plan tonight, we gonna take action on our dreams and fight, alright. We ain't gonna stall, never stop. We gon' make it all till it's stand up. We ain't gonna plan tonight, we gonna take action on our dreams and fight, alright.
Good morning, soccer fans, and welcome to Soccer Sports Writers React. We are one guy short today. Scott had some things come up, so Ed and I are taking care of it. Ed and I are both writers for the USL team, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. We'll be down there tomorrow, Ed, bright and early. Kickoffs at 12 noon, so
Love it.
we'll be down there covering that. But yeah, so we wanted to get into some things. We wanted to cover the finals here in the World Cup. We're going to talk Spain and France. We're going to get that up going, and then England and Argentina, and then we're going to talk the final, which I think is going to be. I don't know. You and I have mixed reactions. I think both of us pretty much would like to see other teams in this than what we have. Am I right on that?
Totally agree.
I mean, I don't know. Just not my brand of football. I would say that. It's just kind of, it's just kind of the clutch and grab and the, just I don't know.
FIFA puts up with it, but they do.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's mind-boggling that they continue to put up with this when people complain about it too, but people don't like it.
Yep.
But for some reason, I don't know. FIFA's just they're not too concerned about it. I guess I don't know. So okay, well, let's get started here. So, were you shocked by Spain and France? Because I certainly was. I didn't expect that to. I mean, I knew Spain was good, but I also knew that France was really. I mean, France had really. I don't know. France was really outscoring a lot of opponents. And it just seemed to me like Spain delivered just a clinic on how to defend. It was just like, hey, we're just going to choke out this, and it's a star-studded French attack, and they're just like, okay, we're just going to choke these guys out and limit them completely. Kylian Mbappe, I mean, there was just nothing for him to do.
It's tough.
And then you get that penalty conversion at the 22nd minute. To kind of just,
Well, I just don't. I
set
think
the tone.
That's one of the
early.
rules they need to look at. Your back is he has no idea there's a defender coming.
Right.
He's controlling the ball. He chests the ball, starts to bring it down to his body, and goes to kick the ball, and somebody steps in front of him. That can't be a foul ever. It just can't be. He does.
Right.
It's not as if it's hockey. They're playing hockey rules without the most important part of the offside rule of hockey, where you have to have control of your stick at all times, right?
Right.
You could be hit and your stick's in your hand. You could be hit violently against the board and your stick comes out and hits somebody in the face. And that's a high stick. And this should never be a penalty. It just shouldn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he is.
Right.
It's not really his responsibility. He's going to chest, he chests the ball down back to the defender, has nobody, and then goes to kick the ball. I don't like it as a penalty. I just don't.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Especially when it's in the box. And also it fundamentally changed the entire landscape of the game. It just did.
Right.
And I was not a fan of that. I just don't think it's, I don't know. FIFA's in trouble only because, well, they're not because they have billions of dollars, but they really need to clean the game up. They really do.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
No, and we thought that this World Cup, all these additions to the rules, we thought that this was going to clean it up. We've obviously seen that there's still a long way to go with this.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of stuff to look at, and it's just not. I don't know. You would like to think that they see that what's going on and see that, hey, there's some issues here. They're just there's just a lot of I will say, to sum it all up, there's a lot of inconsistencies that you're seeing, and you see a lot,
especially between the Central South American refereeing,
right,
and the European refereeing and the United States refereeing, the America's refereeing.
Right.
I'm like you. I am not a fan of Central and South American football. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's a bad brand of football. It's clutching, grabbing. You're allowing an inferior opponent to equalize the game by fouling.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that's
Yeah.
the way the game was intended to be played. And
Yeah.
no, I mean, other sports they don't get away with it.
Right.
The chippiness, they just start penalizing them, and I think
Right.
FIFA needs to look at that. I mean, there's Argentina doesn't hardly have a guy over 6 foot,
Yeah.
and you're allowing them to equalize the game because of the nonsense they do.
Right.
Look at Paraguay and France. That was embarrassing,
Right.
absolutely embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as Spain's a very good team with possession, and I knew if they scored first, it'd be very difficult for France to get the ball back because France does not possess the ball. France just attacks and mildly defends because they have such a great offense.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, yeah, they're one dimensional. I knew that going in. I'm like, hey, if France doesn't get out of the gate fast here, get the first score, then it's going to be tough for them. I knew, Spain's just, I think, Spain's doesn't have the offense France has, but they have a stifling defense, and they're just kind of a better. They were just kind of a better overall team.
Yeah.
They had a great strategy, unlike the next match that we're going to be covering. But there's I mean, they just, like I said, you get 22nd minute, you convert that penalty kick, and now you're going in, the halftime, and you come out 58th minute. Pedro Porro sealed the victory. Got a little give and go sequence with that, and then
Bad French D.
yeah, and then Olmo was able to just perfectly place that shot past the French keeper. Magan, wasn't it Megan?
And I think that was going in. That was France's Achilles heel. Their goalkeeping is not, they don't have Hugo Lloris like they had for years. Their goalkeeping and their defense is not that's their weakness. Although it shouldn't be because they have so much talent there. But at Tucumene, they could have done a better job substituting. And I that left back that committed the penalty, I don't think it's a penalty. He's not usually a starter. I think that Didier Deschamps he got outcoached. He just did.
Yeah.
They weren't aggressive enough with Mbappe, and Mbappe gets very frustrated.
Right.
When he's not on the ball and when he's not getting service, he gets very frustrated.
Right.
Because he can't take it all. And then when he gets the ball, he tries to go through 17 people, which you can't.
Right. Yeah, he tries to do everything on his own, and
right.
Yeah.
He's somebody like a Ronaldo that needs service. Yes, can they both win 1v1? Yes, but they're more, they're finishers.
Right.
1v1 is really not true. They can do it, and they're, probably top 5, top 10 in the world are doing it, but still.
Yeah.
I just thought that they just and Dembele didn't show up at all, really.
Right.
I thought they were going to, even if they shut down Kylian Mbappe, I thought they at least would have, Dembele, there to save them and score, but they just didn't have it. It's not like, I mean, Dembele and Mbappe are very similar to Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, except they should be better, but
right.
Alas, they were not.
This loss marks the third summer in a row that Spain's knocked out France out of a major tournament semifinal. You had the Euro in 2024 and the UEFA Nations League in 2025.
Yeah.
So, Spain obviously advanced to the World Cup final, playing Argentina at MetLife. Let's segue into that. Argentina versus France.
England.
I'm sorry, Argentina versus England. Yeah, sorry. Just there's a lot of stuff we have to cover on this one. It was a highly physical first half.
Yep.
Chippy, I think it was 19 combined fouls and 0 shots on target to open up.
Yep.
And he had the a 0-0 score line at the break. But it exploded in the second half. England gets the first one. Gordon scored his first World Cup goal. Smashed it home too. Smashed it home. And
great run up. Harry Kane goes back central midfield, grabs the ball. Beautiful pass to Rodgers. Rodgers has enough time to put his head down, then look up and placed a beautiful ball. And Gordon's finish was tough. It was not an easy finish.
Right.
He had the goalkeeper screaming from the other side, and he beautifully adjusted his hips, tapped the ball in. It was very nice.
Right.
But
And
then,
then yeah, they go into this, park the bus type. I don't have Tuchel. I've been saying this about Thomas Tuchel. He's terrible. I've said this when he coached at Bayern Munich.
yeah,
He was just there was just so much. He's just I'm not a fan of him. Never have been a fan of him.
his ego
Um,
is greater than his ability.
right. I mean, it's
I'm with you, man.
there's a lot of guys like that. Pep Guardiola, the guy that used to manage your club.
Jose Marino, but all those guys won.
No, the other guy
Who?
that used to
Oh
manage
God. Oh yeah. Ten Hag.
Ten Hag. Yeah,
God,
I
I
mean,
can't stand
he
him.
was
Yeah.
just the same way. The him and Tuchel for me are this cut from the same cloth.
No doubt.
Um,
No doubt.
yeah, but yeah. So you go into this. This Argentina just mounted relentless pressure after you get that opener by England at the 55th minute. You get the equalizer in the 85th minute, and
I mean,
to
I agree they put pressure, but it was only because they were allowed to.
right. Oh yeah,
Why? I don't understand. I mean, the game's going well. You score. They're going to come back, but you have to have a viable option on offense, and they just did not. They simply just
right,
did not. And there's no reason for it.
right,
You're playing well in the game. You just keep going. His substitution pattern was obscure at best. I mean, you say plus 72nd minute. No, sorry. You make substitutions in the 80 minutes on. You're hanging with them. You go 80 minutes on because you have what? It turned out to be 9 minutes of stoppage, but still, if you make a substitution at the 82nd minute, you probably eat up whatever time. It's better now, but I'm saying that carries you through. It just always does. Watch any European match.
right.
Substitutions are made there unless of injury or tiresome. Hey, and credit to England, man. They go to that altitude and play, then they come back down and play that ridiculous heat, and then they go to Atlanta. But Argentina went to two added extra time games, so
Right.
both teams were. I just think that England he got outmanaged. Is really what it
Yeah.
is. Talent for talent, England's better. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
You have the magic of Messi, and there's Messi in the Ronaldo argument, Cristiano versus Lionel. The difference is, for me, I mean, I like Ronaldo better, but the difference is Messi is just a better passer, has better assists. He just does.
Right.
He's able to place the ball, literally walk it over to you and put it on your boot.
Right.
Ronaldo's not that player. Ronaldo is who's receiving that pass. Both fantastic players, but if you're going to look for a distinction, I mean, that's it. I mean, you can go with, excuse me, you can go with, trophies, but I think also Ronaldo conquered England. Messi never went to England. The best league in the world, he never went.
Right.
He went to France. Who cares? France isn't any good.
Right.
Back then, they weren't any good. It was PSG.
Well, yeah, it's PSG, and they're the it's
and the team that he had at PSG and couldn't win. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
You had a young Kylian. You had, Neymar. You had all those folks were there, and you couldn't win.
Right.
Di Maria, your countrymate, you couldn't win. So for me, that's why, he does have a World Cup. Blah blah blah. And playing in South America is not like playing in Europe. You can win all the South American trophies you want. Come on.
Right.
Chile is 5'6" and under. You have Bolivia. Ooh, they scare you.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it is. But England I've never seen that happen in my life ever.
It was almost like he got paid off to do that. I don't know. I'm not trying to create.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Controversy, but man, it was just very. He just to do that against a team like that after just has to make you wonder. I don't know.
And the only thing they need is time and space. And what'd you give them?
Time and space.
Right.
Tons of time and space.
Right. If you took one of those away, it's a different outcome.
Right.
And he got nervous. We're up 1-0. We can milk this. No, sorry, dude. It's like scoring a touchdown in the first quarter and running prevent the rest of the game.
Right.
Or maybe, going in 7-0 at halftime and prevent the rest of the game.
Right.
Right. You can't do it. You know?
Right.
And the players, I mean, if that's where Harry Kane should come in and have a voice. Jude Bellingham, have a voice. Somebody.
Yeah.
Reece James, you played forever. How about a what's
well,
his
you
name?
saw what was going on. I mean, it's just like wow, guys, we're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Because of bad strategy.
Yeah. I mean, you have experienced players on the bench. Why don't they speak up?
Yeah.
You know, it was a bad idea. Everybody knew it was a bad idea. I mean, you go up 1-0, you celebrate, but man, get your butt back, get going. You know, keep the clamp down on them. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And the easiest parallel, easiest analogy is NFL game. You're dominating the game. You're up 21-0. You know, your lockdown corners are killing everybody, and all of a sudden, your defense coordinator, fourth quarter, says, "Nah, let's go prevent the rest of the time." Right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's give them what they need. You know, it
Yeah.
makes no sense whatsoever. And you know, you could not to take away from Argentina, like everybody says. You know, they were, you know, the passes were exquisite, but I think on the one he was offside too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so subjective where the referee can say he's you know reestablished himself, but that was the quickest reestablishment I've ever seen.
Right.
Right? Why can't they do that? Why can't they afford that for all players? You know, you have ARs there for a
Good
reason.
question.
If the
Right.
AR can't make a decision, why do you have an AR? The
Right.
AR should be there. Yep, he reestablished himself. That's all you should be able to do.
Yeah.
You know, he got the fastest I've ever seen in mankind.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I just think sometimes the levity that he's given, the space that he's given, the you know the you know the reasonable doubt he's you know everything he gets the benefit of the doubt all the time.
All
Why?
the time. Yeah. All the continuously.
Yeah,
It's so blatantly obvious.
it is.
I mean, it's terrible. So
You know,
just like that, you know, that should have been a red card. That what he did, you know,
yeah,
uh, our
early on.
guy, you know, from
Yeah,
Balogun does
yeah,
something that's very similar, but a less severity, and gets red carded. You know,
yeah.
he doesn't even get a yellow. He doesn't even get a yellow for crying
Nope,
out loud. You know,
nope. So that's VAR. He should. I mean, he gets away with just absolute murder.
right.
He does. And
So
if you like we were talking pre-show, if FIFA doesn't crack down on the bench players and the substitutes that are warming up, throwing a ball out when it's time for a quick restart, that should be an automatic yellow. It's an embarrassment to the game, and
right,
you can't get away with that in basketball. You get a
right,
technical right away. Can't get away with it in football, unsportsmanlike
right,
conduct. You
right,
can't throw an extra puck on the ice, delay a game 2 minutes. You pick the
right,
sport. They have the
right,
penalty for it. You can't do it
right,
except for FIFA at the highest level, at the most profile sporting event in the history of the world, always,
right,
right?
right.
They allow
Yeah.
this nonsense.
The biggest sport in the world,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
allow this
nonsense.
nonsense continuously,
Yeah,
and you know, and they're called out on it. It's not
yeah.
like people, you know, you and I, everybody's calling them out on it, and it just doesn't seem like they. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is.
They just
You
don't
know,
care. And
but
they're gonna in the next World Cup,
obviously,
2030 World Cup, before we get to the preview of the final, they're looking to sell the viewership rights, the TV rights, right?
yeah,
Starting bid is 2 billion. 2 billion is the starting bid
right,
for a 30-day, a little bit more, probably 45-day event. $2 billion. And
right,
it's Netflix, it's Disney, it's all this other stuff that are going to pay. It's going to be a bidding war.
right,
You know, they saw the success that's here. And again, it's a 3-nation one, right? I think it's Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, maybe.
right,
So I just, it's truly, it's just an embarrassment. At the end
yeah,
of the day, it's an embarrassment.
yeah.
I don't know why they allow it.
Like I said, they got the equalizer at the 85th minute. Another, you know, long range strike off a beautiful pass by
Yeah.
Lionel Messi. Enzo Fernandez had a nice curl to it. You know, gets
Yeah.
that done, and then 2 minutes into stoppage time, Messi
Uncontested header.
yeah,
Uncontested header. You
yeah,
figure you would learn, right? You take
yeah,
that strike, it's 1-1. All right, boys, get together real quick. Hey, let's not, you know, let's play for extra time. Nope.
yeah.
Same
Messi
stupid thing.
delivered another magical ball in the box, and
Yeah.
you know, Martinez powered it home with a nice header, and that was
Yeah.
just sealed the comeback victory. Real quick, before we move on to the final, let's talk a little bit about, you know, Tuchel's decisions. You know, he's under, you know, he's under a lot of
Heavy scrutiny.
yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of critiques and scrutiny, and people saying too passive, taking the lead second half, made a series of defensive substitutions, bringing on center backs and defensive midfielders to try to lock down the game. You know, lost the possession battle, which is stupid.
Yeah.
You know, you know, Wayne Rooney said it. He said these, you know, these changes made them, you know, sit too deep, and they started to become passive, and you know, they just gave up the ball, and they allowed Argentina to dominate and come right back in this game.
I wouldn't have minded the substitutions had he changed the formation. If he
Right.
wants to go with those, that's fine. But go back to you know, a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But that would have been fine because now you have people who know how to defend in space. And I think that would have been a difference because you would have because the midfield, you're right, was the key. It was the absolute key.
Yeah.
Go back to your formation 4-4-2. And bring those defensive subs in. That's fine, but you should have had the ability as England to make it to extra time.
Right. Tuchel defended his decisions, which I thought was a very weak defense of his decisions. He said, the team had already lost control of the ball naturally, and the substitutions were necessary to prevent crosses into the penalty box. Well, what the hell did that accomplish? That accomplished absolutely nothing.
Because they scored it on cross.
Yeah, that accomplished so that's in itself. How about just say, you know what, I screwed up. I made him. I did the wrong.
He's
Once
German.
again,
He'll never admit it.
yeah,
You
true.
know, but the idea is you're 100% right. I mean, if you
Yeah.
if you put that in there to do that and it failed, you have to do something different.
Right.
You know,
And yeah, it's just
I would have sacrificed a man to go double on Messi. Why not?
yeah,
Why
different
not?
sport, but just like I know that, in the '83 Wolfpack, in
Uh-huh.
NC State, I can remember when they did that 30 for 30. One of the assistants to Valvano said, "Hey, if something wasn't working, he would crumple the game plan up right in the middle of the game and say, okay, we got to do something different."
Yeah.
Tuchel should have done that. He should have done that. Because like I said, he has the audacity to stand up there after the fact and say, well, we lost the ball naturally, and I was just trying to do these substitutions because I didn't want to have these crosses in the penalty box. Essentially, that's what it didn't work. It did not work. So what
That's what burned you.
yeah. So how are you trying to defend that? I
You
don't
had that,
understand
buddy.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was.
yeah, that should have been the next question. I know people don't want to, in that stage, they don't reporters don't
Sure, I
want to
would have asked him,
ruffle
how'd
the
that work
feathers.
out for you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Looking back, do you think that was the right choice? That's
right,
what I would have said.
right. I mean,
Now that you
hindsight,
stated that, do you think that was the right choice looking back?
yeah,
And
right.
so all right. So now let's get into the final. MetLife Stadium. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Sunday. What do you think? I mean, Spain enters the favorite with a 58.2 win probability, compared to Argentina's 41.8. I mean, I think you're just looking at, you're looking at Lionel Messi chasing back-to-back titles, right?
Yep.
Probably his final World Cup, right? I don't see him playing in 2030,
Yep.
but
Yep.
he'll be 43 years old.
Doesn't matter. He'll do it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. He probably will.
Yeah.
Against Yamal, who's a 19-year-old rising superstar. So
Uh,
it's
it's so cliche to say, but in this place, it's extremely accurate. Whoever scores first is so so prominent in this matchup because if Spain scores first, them holding the ball, which they're used to doing, that's going to be tough for Argentina to break down. It just
yeah.
is. It's going to be very tough for Argentina to break them down. And if Argentina scores first, get ready for the nonsense because that's all they're going to do.
Well, and here's the thing, though. I will say one thing. Spain has the suffocating
Yeah,
defense, the possession dominant,
they do.
defense. But here's the thing: there's 12 goals after the 75th minute that Argentina has scored to pull off some of these dramatic knockout comebacks. So
Yeah.
that's another thing. They're kind of got that. I don't know. Argentina has that immortal resilience going on. Like I said, 12 goals after the 75th minute to pull off dramatic knockout comebacks. So I don't know.
And they have ideal weather. Yeah, I was just looking, 82 degrees. It's going to be low humidity. You can't have a better game than that, right?
Well, I wonder if these fires may play a part in this.
I think
This
they're through that area though.
okay, because I know they're heavy in this area right now. It was bad yesterday, and
Yeah.
looking out, it's still bad today. So,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
know. I think you control if you're Spain, you control the tempo through Rodri.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
exploit the Argentine midfield. You try to exploit their midfield. that has occasionally looked vulnerable. That midfield, right?
Yeah.
There's been some high pressure counterattacks that they've looked vulnerable against. So I think that's what you kind of got to do in this matchup. So
No doubt about it. But I think, if you're looking at it objectively, Spain scores first. It's going to be very difficult for Argentina
yeah,
because Spain, they just know how to possess the ball. They just know
right,
how to do it.
yeah,
Whereas England's not comfortable in doing that.
right,
Spain is extremely, extraordinarily expert at controlling the ball. They don't
right,
care.
yeah.
They don't care. They'll win. They've only conceded one goal the entire tournament. One
I
goal.
know, I know.
So their defense is the best defense in the World
I
Cup.
mean, through 7 tournament matches, yeah, 1 goal.
One goal.
So,
So,
and which is just
I mean,
mind-boggling.
yeah, it truly is. They've been that good. So, it, you know, uh, does Spain have the? And then it's just so disgusting what Argentina's going to do. And Simeone did not belong on the starting pitch with England. He just didn't. He was out there because he's an agitator and he's annoying. He should have been carded very early in the game. Should have been carded for the nonsense he was doing.
Yeah,
He should have been.
right,
But they don't have and it was an American referee. He didn't have the stones to tell him, look, dude,
right,
you don't play this way. That's not the
yeah,
beautiful game. That's the crap game because you're smaller and less skilled. So we're going to allow you to equalize it by clutching and grabbing. I mean, it's bad for the sport,
right,
But again, FIFA makes so much money that they just don't care.
right. No,
And
they don't
they
care.
show your former
It's
manager.
obvious.
They show your former manager all the time, Arsene Wenger, who was paramount in getting these rules adjusted. Which I hope to God they carry on. We've talked about it 1,000 times. I hope to God they carry on those rules into because you almost can't, right? Can you imagine the Premier League if they go back to the old ways? I mean, people are going to be up in arms, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people will be up in arms. People like what the changes are doing. But like I said earlier in the show, in the opening of the show, I think that there's more changes that need to be made. I think we're seeing that right now. That hey, it's just not enough. What's being
Well,
done's not enough. I mean, there's just
and also the whole throwing in, you're able to advance the ball however much you want. If you're the assistant referee, you stand at the spot of the throw in and you don't move. You don't move. You stand at the
right.
spot where the ball went out and you just don't move. And you don't allow anybody to go. You don't allow the person with the ball to go forward.
Yep.
Sorry, this is what you got.
Right.
Go backwards if you want, but you ain't
Yep.
going forward. They could have done a lot more.
These last final couple games leading up to the final. I think that the officiating has let the game get out of hand in a lot and on some of these matches.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I mean, there's just definitely preferential treatment for Argentina. I mean, and Messi just gets he just can do no wrong. He gets all the calls.
Gets away with murder.
Gets away with murder. He can do anything out there.
Yeah.
He could bring a 45 and cap a guy right on the pitch.
Yeah.
And they would be okay. Play on. Get
Yeah.
him off the field and play on. So I don't know. This is maybe a little too dramatic there, but might be crossing the line.
Yeah, it's a little bit hyperbole, but you're right. I mean, the guy can
Yeah.
do no wrong.
No, he's just
and
they
gets
just
touches. All his players can come in and push people around and shove people, and get no cards.
right.
That it does not make sense. And again, ultimately, it's bad for the game.
Yeah. All right, let's do a pick 'em. Who do you got? Who do you got, and what's the final score?
I am taking. I'm taking Spain 2-0.
Okay, I'm taking Spain 2-1.
Yeah,
I'm taking Spain 2-1. I think
like
here's how I'm going to project it. I think that Spain gets the opening goal. I think they get it early. I think they get it before the 30th minute. I think you get an equalizer right before halftime by Argentina, and I think Spain comes out and they play lockdown. I think they get it. They just generate another goal, and they just close it out. That's what I think.
I mean, and they got the matchup they want. Argentina's
Right.
number 1 in the world. Spain's number 2. They got what they wanted.
Yeah, I would have liked to see. I mean, I personally wanted to see England in it. I really did, and it's just a shame that just shame the blunders that happened because really, I mean, they had this in the bag. Really, I mean,
Totally.
and that it was Tuchel that really screwed the thing up. I mean, you hate to put it all on on one entity, but I mean, it's just let's call it for how we see it. It was him that made the decision to go in that park the bus, strategy, and just that's a really stupid strategy against a team like Argentina. Why you would want to do that is beyond me. I don't understand it.
I totally agree. When
And
all they need is time and space. That's what they
he's
crave.
acting like no, like he's acting shocked that people are criticizing him on this. It's like, dude, are you not aware of what happened?
Right.
Are you just not aware of what happened?
And he
Apparently
can't
not.
blame the players this time. This is all on him.
No, I know, and I mean he's. You know how I don't like coaches taking accountability. That's my main thing. I don't like coaches that don't take accountability. If you suck as a coach, a manager, whatever, but you totally suck, but you take responsibility. I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner. I'm hoping that there comes a point in time when you don't suck, because
Yeah.
I'm in your corner. But when you suck and you don't take responsibility, to me that just adds insult to injury. And
I mean,
that's
it's
why
really
I've never
bad.
liked the guy. I've never liked him. And when they hired him, I could not believe it. You and I talked about it. It's like,
Right.
how you're going to hire this jackass?
When you have
You
so
know,
many quality coaches within your own country.
right?
I mean, I get it. You didn't like Gareth Southgate. Got it. But how many more coaches do they have in England? Give me a break.
Well, he won, and they still got rid of him. So what does that tell you?
Yeah. Yes.
You
It
know?
wasn't his fault for PKs.
Yeah.
He
So.
gets into the final of the Euro. It's not his fault.
No, I'm talking Tuchel. Tuchel's won,
Yeah, Chelsea won the World. UEFA.
right? Yeah, and they still got rid of him. So what does that tell you?
Exactly.
What does that tell you? That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, it was a shocking hiring. But yeah, I like our picks. Just one last question for me for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think in the third place game, France and England play their ones, or do they play their second teams? Do you expect Harry Kane to be out there with Kylian?
No.
You expect Jude Bellingham to be out there with Dembele?
I don't think so. Do you?
I wouldn't put out my ones. Why would you? It's meaningless.
Right.
I mean, it means a couple extra $1 million.
Well, yeah, they probably don't want to, right? I would think.
No,
I mean, I think now that well, that's what I'm saying. Now that they're officially out of it, they don't want to get hurt for their prospective clubs.
Right.
You just don't.
Right.
And I would be like that too. Like, hey, this is meaningless. I don't want to be out there.
Plus, it also affords the opportunity for real international experience for players who don't usually get it. Right. And
to see what you have for
having said
2030.
Yeah, having said that, a second team France and a second team England in a game, that's still worthwhile TV.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Still superstars.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these superstars, that your Harry Kanes, your Mbappes, they're getting done with this and going right into the season. I mean, it's mid-July.
Right.
It's starting.
You only have 3.5, 4 weeks left. That's it.
Before the season starts. And they've got preseason. I know these guys aren't going to be playing in a preseason.
I mean, the lucky thing is they're fit, so they don't need preseason.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why they're not going to be playing in the preseason, because
but still, you're right. The rigors of the season start in less than 4 weeks.
Right, August.
Yeah.
I mean, so
it's August 11th. Yeah.
I mean, I could see maybe Mbappe wanting to play, but Harry Kane's not going to want to play. You kidding me? He's not going to want to play. He's at the tail end of his career.
But you really think Jude and Mbappe both on the same team really want to play?
No, I would say I'm just saying I would say maybe Mbappe would want to play more than the other guys, but I just.
Oh yeah, I would say, you know what, I would say Mbappe just because he wants the scoring record.
Yes, exactly. He wants a scoring record. He's younger, and he can take that kind of.
He's 27. Bellingham's 23. So
right. Well, yeah, that's what. Yeah, Bellingham, but still, they're in that. They're still in that. Both of them are in that.
I don't see it as terribly, even though they hate each other and they've hated each other for centuries.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I see it more as like an all-star game type thing.
Right.
Where you knock around the ball and you have beautiful plays and you're like, oh, that's great. Just because so many of those players are so intertwined with each other.
Because they're thinking of what I mean, they have.
Yeah.
You got a season coming up in less than a month.
You got Gordon going to where's he going? Barca.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. It was just a thought that popped in my head.
That's a very good question. Very good question. I mean, do people want to see them? Absolutely, and
Sure. Yeah.
that's probably a factor too. They're probably thinking, hey, well, hey,
Yeah.
you got all these people they want
Yeah.
to see you, and
But I
you
think
know,
they're just going to feed the ball to Mbappe so that he gets the record. And I
yeah,
don't think England would be upset if he got the record over an Argentinian because they hate each
and,
other.
and he gets the record, you pull him,
Right? Exactly.
and
I mean,
that's
the unknown is you don't know. But if he gets 2 goals where he's at 22 and Messi is at 21,
yeah,
you know,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'd love to
So,
see an Mbappe hat trick because that
oh, it'd be great, yeah.
puts him at 23 and leaves Messi at 21, and Messi ain't gonna get a
Yeah.
hat trick against Spain.
No, no, hell no.
Yeah.
Like I said, they'll be lucky to. I said I think it's gonna be a 2-1 match up there, so they'll be lucky to get
So
the
Spain
goal.
has played 8 matches already because they had 3 qualifiers.
Right,
They've given up 1 goal
one
in
goal.
8 matches.
Yeah,
That's and you could argue that
and
the draw was easier, but still, it's still a game, still pros.
well, hey, and France is a potent offense,
Yeah,
so I don't want to hear
one of the best offenses in the World Cup.
right. So this is not it's not like
Yeah.
Argentina's the best offense they're going to face. They've
Nope,
already faced the best
they faced the
offense,
best. Yeah,
yeah, and shut them out. So
yep, yep, and beat
yeah,
shut out an extremely talented Portugal squad too on offense.
right.
So
So yeah, so
and
that's
they got a
just
healthy Nico Williams back. Spain
yeah,
does.
yeah.
So
So yeah, I mean, I like I said, I would have liked to, different teams. I would, I can understand people. It's 1 and 2. People want to, people can argue that, and like you said, it's going to be bad football. It's not going to be football that it's going to be clutch and grab, and it's just going to be like, here we go again, because that's the way they play. That's the South American way. Hate to be,
in fact, I can't stand
yeah, no,
South and Central American football.
it's the way they play.
It's
Period.
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, and the over dramatics and the thank God they have the new rules where they're not calling everything.
Right.
Also, the rules are good because it allows the game to flow,
Right.
which is also very important. But
Yep. So, all right. Well, that about does it. I guess just to close it out, local talk here. We have a match on Saturday, Riverhounds, and kicks off.
national TV,
Yeah, kickoff is at noon, which is awesome. And we actually like that because you get down there, you get out of there, you still have the day to do whatever.
oh
But
yeah,
real quick, let's just talk. You're playing Loudon, which I'm sorry, Louisville. You're playing Louisville. Riverhound sitting at 6-6-2, Louisville sitting at 7-5-3. Big test. I'm concerned about this, and I'm concerned about this because of what you did in the last match. My God, how in the world do you give this team their first win?
I hate to say it too. It reminds me of the old Bob Lilly days. First time ever, first time ever that remind me of the Bob Lilly days, where you're going against a team you absolutely should beat and you don't.
And you don't, yeah.
And this is actually CBS. So this is national TV on CBS, not CBS
Yeah.
Sports. So
Yeah.
this is
I
a
know.
huge way to showcase the team is ahead of you in the standings. You need this win to climb the standings.
Right.
You've taken on Louisville before. You haven't had too much. You sit 7th right now, 20 points. Louisville is with 24 at 4th. So I mean, a win here gets you climbing in the standings. You're dangerously close to that line,
Yeah.
right?
I still don't know how they lost that game. I really don't. I mean, we're following. It's 1-0. Then they get the equalizer, and then it's like late in the game, they get the go ahead goal and cruise to a victory, 2-1 victory. How does that happen?
Unconscionable. It just is.
How does that happen?
You have
I
to be
mean,
better
that's
than that.
just that's. I'm going to mark this down as being one of the worst losses that I've seen from them.
No doubt. And it could go one of two ways. We could look back at the end of the season and say that was the game that sealed their not making the playoffs, or that was the game that they understood that they need to recharge and focus, and it got them into the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
an
very good.
easy.
That's a very good analogy there. I like it. So
Yeah, I mean, you need this. I mean, you've played 14. I mean, you got Miami FC. He's played 16. Louisville's played 15. So you have a game in hand, but you had a game in hand against Sporting Jacksonville and you gave it away. This team should be sitting right now at 23 points and in 5th place. This should be a 5-4, 4-5 matchup, and they win it. They go to 26, and that vaults them all the way to the top with Charleston Battery.
Well, like I said, this is just a shocking loss. This was a shocking loss. This is a loss that you look at and you're like, how? How did you guys lose this game?
Yeah.
Against a winless team.
Yeah.
How?
Brand new franchise too in USL.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I'm with you.
All right, folks. Hey, that's we'll be back next week. We'll have the reaction on the World Cup final. There'll be a lot, I'm sure, to unpack with that. I'm sure when Scott returns, I'm sure we'll be doing some MLS stuff because MLS is picking up. Yeah, it's picking up. Right where it left off here very soon. So we'll be getting into that second half of the season for the MLS, and you're just kind of seeing where everything's going to fall here. So, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.